don't think I'll be using my table saw. Ooh. What's up, vegan? Let me know if you can hear me. What's up, Todd Turner? So I'm gonna be working cutting sheathing here, and then I've only got enough pieces in here without going all the way out to my garage. But I think I can leave my camera set up here and kind of swap it back and forth. But I'm gonna hang this wall right here. What's up, Douglas? But let's see. I'm gonna get a measurement real fast. I think it's 42 and something. And I don't know. We'll see how the internet goes. 42 and a quarter. 42 and a quarter. And I'll only be able to come like check this ever so often. So what's up, MJ Harrington? And this is my own garage, so I'm not going for crazy efficiency of, and since I'm doing a live and stopping to check and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not anytime I'm in here working, I try not to get anything out of my truck if I don't have to, just because then I got to remember to put it back and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to be wearing my vest and all that because I'm not working the whole day out here or anything. Let's see, I probably wearing on that side. So I don't have any plugs ran in this area yet, so I'm going off of the garage door plug I put in up there. I already just realized I cut that off the wrong side, so I have to use this on that other end. Too big a hurry setting up my cameras. Just cut the wrong groove side off. That's all right. I got to turn this stuff. So this will be down. This will go down on the other end now. $42 and a quarter. See who's all in here. Oh no, garage money. What's that black thing coming out of the circular saw? Cord. That's a cord. You ain't seen one of those in a while. 42 and a quarter. Remember, that's what I just cut, but don't cut it off the wrong side like a goober. And I bought, I'm going up to 8 foot in there. Once I get in there, you'll see. But they had this stuff 7-foot at Menards for like $18 a sheet, and an 8-foot sheet was $42 or something like that. So half the price. So what I'm doing is 7-foot sheet, and then I bought some extra sheets, and plus I got cut off some other stuff. I'm gonna do a foot down here at the bottom, and that's where I'm running all my electric and stuff anyways. So that way I can just drill holes through all my studs. And then if I want to add electric or something later, I'll just have to take off this bottom panel, run more wires, put it back. So I think it's actually going to be beneficial for me, but it was also like half the price. I've probably saved $1,500 on this stuff buying it that way. 42 1/4 off the right side this time. Oh, the track saw is so much better than running like something like this to that table saw. And you can kind of, I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but all these pieces, and they've been stacked in my trailer forever, but they were that way when we got them off. They were even in a bundle at Menards when I picked them up, like a brand new bundle. They're all curved like real bad, which makes it a little bit of a pain to cut with the track saw and a little bit of a pain to install it in there by yourself. Try not to bump y'all. Check this chat and I'll move the camera. $7 foot all the way. You get most of your materials from Menards. I got a lot of, all my lumber package came from a local lumber yard that I get all my stuff from, usually if I do bigger stuff. He's the guy I get all my windows and doors, and then like they deliver to me for free, and like I can call him and say, you know, I need 10 2x4s or whatever, and they'll just bring them. So all the lumber I got from them, all the siding, all my vinyl trim. What else did I get from Menards? I got quite a bit of stuff from Menards. I ended up getting about overall probably like $900 in rebates or something too. What's up, Roger Blavette? So I'm gonna turn something about circular saw. Oh, what's the black thing? So now I've got y'all set up on a tripod to where hopefully all I gotta do is this, so I'm not sitting there trying to move the camera all the time. So I already got this side sided. That's the hole that's coming through from where I normally am at. And this would be basically like a storage hallway-ish to get over here into this. And then I'm gonna put a slider. I put a big 2x10 across all this. So I'm gonna put a sliding door here going that way. But I put a 2x4 little ledger up here to get me in the ballpark of being hopefully plumb and level whenever I get up on here. Let's see what I look like here. Because once you get this first one, you can just line it up pretty much. Need to come out a little bit at the bottom. Or a little bit towards me at the bottom. If I can. That's pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, that curve really makes it be a little bit of the curve in the sheathing. Makes it a little hard to install by yourself and keep everything how you like it. That's pretty good. I'll take it. And this stuff usually I nail it up, but I put screws in this wall in case I ever want to take off the hose sheets and all that kind of stuff. Which I shouldn't ever really have to, but with me having the top and the bottom open, if I ever want to fish something, it should be pretty easy. And the screws don't normally go in this stuff very well, but these, let me find the box in case anybody's ever doing this and you want to use screws. Because I thought I was going to have to sit there and pre-drill them all the time, but these screws right here, I got them at Lowe's. I think they come from Lowe's. They go in pretty well. I'm just going to put a few in this here to hold it. So I'll put the next piece and cover it up. Get that curve out of it. And this too will also be good. I don't know how much y'all can see like down on the ground, but if I come up a foot, if I ever have a like water problem outside or something, you know, it won't be, I've at least got a repair point to where I shouldn't be going up the whole entire wall. And I'm putting a drop ceiling in here up above the window over, so that's why I'm not going like all the way up, you know, in here either. Again, I could get more storage if I went all the way up, but I don't really want to have a ladder. I'm going to have way too much storage as it is for my stuff, so I didn't want to have a ladder all the time to get certain things down. And now that I've opened that doorway to my existing area that my mini split's in, it kind of, I'd like to heat and cool less of this. I don't want to get to where I'm heating and cooling a bigger area of storage that I'm not even using. Make sure my screws all line up the same. That kind of stuff would bug me. I'll get this one screwed in. I'll come check the chat. There's the rest, the next, at least the next one, which I'm glad I saw that. Of course, that's a Phillips. Remind me to get that out. The next piece should just be a whole piece. I haven't decided if I'm gonna paint this or just leave it this color. I don't know. 'Cause it is my garage after all. I don't know if I care enough to paint it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there. Check the. I'm gonna get a drink of coffee, and then I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna have way too much storage. Famous last word. It's probably true, but I mean, I'm gonna have a whole nother one of those. I'm gonna have all this. I can still fit stuff. Let me see if I can get y'all. I don't know. Might get blocked off that, but I'll still be able to fit stuff like long stuff and put it on my roof over there. But I think what I'm actually gonna do, my heat and everything's done pretty good in there all this winter, and it's been really cold without having any extra insulation. But with me building this wall up, I've kind of got a ledge in there now. I think I might even go rent like the blown in insulation machine and do the same thing on the other side. Originally, I talked about maybe putting cubbies up in there, but I personally don't think I'm gonna need them. But if I put them walls up like that, I can go and just spray blown in insulation all over the top of my old building and get quite a bit more R value. I was gonna do an oil change, get a haircut, buy groceries, but now this will count for my activity. What's up, Bowery? You ever use the Vera diamond bit? I haven't. I don't think I've got any diamond ones. I don't. If I do, I got them like individually. I don't have a set of them or anything. But I don't think any of my stuff came with Vera diamond bits. Yeti measures the screw line. Yeah, it's too much work to move a laser around for that kind of stuff. It's easy just to. Well, I've got line. If it was a smooth sheet of plywood, then I would do that. But because this, has lines in it, I basically I'm screwing right beside a line, so the line's already there. Hitachi name should have been kept. Oh, blown in's not fun. Yeah, it would be pretty easy for me to get, like, I can have that machine just sitting here and go to town because I got quite a bit of room up there. At the end, if we don't lose signal and all that, I'll take the camera like loose and I'll get up there and kind of show you what's up there and all that kind of stuff. So this one should be just a whole one. I probably should have took the time and built myself steps right here before I started working on this, but I got tired of walking around the building, and then I kind of got into the mode of I wanted to get this done so I could get the ceiling put in and get it insulated. But now by the time I get this done, it's going to be decent outside and I ain't going to have to worry about it. I probably should have done 42 on the last one, not 42 and a quarter, but I think it's going to be all right. Worst case scenario, I'll throw one a stud. No, it's actually doing pretty good right there. All right, let me get y'all swapped over. Need to refill my screw. DB sack bag too. Like that's another reason why I'm using this, the DB sacks, the old one. Not my favorite of the screw pouches, but it's the one I leave in my garage, and I'm going ahead and using it instead of getting like a Joey pouch out of my truck because I don't want to have to remember to put it back in my truck. So now that one's plumb, the way these line up, there's a little ledge that you just push it to. So now it's just a matter of lining them up from now on. I don't have to check the rest of them. I usually find the bottom one first and then get it screwed in and then start moving it. Like I said, if these sheets weren't like bowed a little bit like they are, it'd be a lot better. It makes it to where it's a little hard. I need to drop it a little. There we go. But when you work by yourself all the time, you learn little ways to gain an advantage. I don't like that much either. Move down some. Kicked on me. Come on. Come on. That's why I don't like this one as much, because it flops around and moves and you miss it with your hand a lot. So I guess I gotta go down this seam too. Missed it. Both my surges are in my truck too. I usually keep both of them in there. This one stays in my garage for the most part now. And my tie boat. So he's get hammered up some. 38. Or I need my little calculator with my little notepad thing. I'm sure I got a piece of something in there. Got the 26 Vito printed catalog. Need to get you one of them auto following cameras. Yeah. I think is it DJI that actually makes some of those? Maybe, I don't know. I've seen people using them. You screwing the panels. Yeah, like I nailed all these, like, because I know I'm never gonna need to take these off. If I need to put something in there, I can fish them. I was gonna nail the outside walls too on these. I'm basically screwing anything that would give me access to this building, and like this wall, like where I've got all my mini split line sets and stuff behind this wall. So I was definitely going to screw these up there so that if I ever have to get in there, because use these ring shank nails with this siding, you're not getting it off without tearing the siding all to pieces. So that's that I'm screwing them in places where I thought I might need to get in here one day. That outside wall, I probably wouldn't have to, but that nail gun's really loud, and I've got a bunch of screws. So, and see, I'll take all these pieces like this and make myself the a strip instead of buying a bunch too, to cover the seam of this to this, like a real thin strip. So I'll be able to use most anything that's a cut off and all that kind of stuff. I never really have for my own stuff, I never really have a plan because, again, I might get some stuff for free, or it's just like all this insulation. I've got different insulations in different spots because some of it's just leftover pieces from jobs and all that kind of stuff. My plans go based on what I've got. That's going to be the cheapest because it's like I said, it's a garage. All right. 18 3/8, 18 and a half. So 18 and a half. Yeah. 18 3/8. And then 78 5/8. 18 and a half. 78 5/8. 18 3/8. There's my 25 footer with my noster on it. See, I got that out of my truck the other day, and I was looking for it in my truck. Couldn't find it. That's where it was. Guess I'll cut this long one first. Make sure I'm cutting the right side. That should be 18 and a half. And I got a plunge just in the middle. Also got to cut some foam off in here real fast. Scare you. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Let's check. What's up, Wings and Pizza? Denny. Ooh, grilled you. Should probably make sure this fits before I turn the camera. If it doesn't fit, it just gets bigger trim, which this window jamb is coming out way deeper. I'm gonna cut it all off once I get my siding in. But these windows, I got a good deal on them too, for a 2x6 framing, which is what I've got in there. But I did 2x4s on these just to give me a little bit more room. Because again, it's a garage, not a house. Like a glove. Almost feel like R&R buildings. That's so good. That thing out of my way. I hate this little step stool I got though, because it makes a big crack noise every now and then, scares you to death. And then I'm just gonna screw around the thing. It is also a little bit easier if you're doing this by yourself to use screws and not the nail gun too, even though the nail gun's faster when you get it up there. But man, if it moves on you right when you go to pull the trigger and it shoots the nail in there, then you're pretty well stuck. Y'all didn't remind me. I don't know if I remembered to ask you to remind me, but I didn't take that screw out of there. I was wondering why that felt like it was poking. It's actually behind that piece is why. Phillips. See, had I used nails right there, I'd been in trouble. But that's what I get for not taking that out as soon as I saw it. Height should be the same. 6.5, and the same on everything else. Yeah, I'm using my I'm using my other small ladder for climbing up and down instead of because I don't have steps right there. So, and normally I've had this one there, but it was going to be in the way real bad getting sheathing through with the camera. A lot faster if I was doing the work and you were watching. JV Massey said, "Oh, JV Massey's got his own name now. He gotten fancy." It'd be a lot faster, JV Massey. I don't remember who framed this wall, but it's causing me. I'm having to do a little bit more work because of somebody else. Somebody else framed this wall. What'd I say? 6.5. Y'all done got me talking. That's like whenever you take a measurement in the house and you're walking outside to go cut something, and your wife starts talking to you, and then as soon as you get out there to the saw and you can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was 6.5, but I'm gonna double check. I got just enough sheets in here to do that wall, so I don't have to walk all the way to the back and get another one. Yeah, 6.5 will work. 6.5 should work as long as I use 6-inch trim. Uh, 78 and something. 13 and what do I do with that paper? 18 and 3/8. 18 3/8. 78 5/8. 6.5. That might actually work with the short. Let's see, be pretty close. Pretty close, not close enough. Especially since I'm plunging. And I left my little oscillating tool up there, but I got to knock out some more insulation anyways. So I'm going to zip off that insulation up there. And then come back down. Nothing like the sound of an oscillating tool. I haven't had that drain the battery being in that tool, but I always take them out, any of them that I have that adapter. Every now and then, if you've got one, sometimes will kill your battery. Brian reminded me, I just didn't catch it. No vest today. You technically qualify for needing one. Yeah, I was only going to work. And of course, we got the guest of the trade a little while anyway. So, and I only had 4 sheets in here, which should be enough to do, because once I put that one up, let's see. Yeah, I'll have that last partial sheet. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's going to be close. I might have another little sliver. I might be out to where I got to go get a sheet anyways. And then I was going to do the guest of trade and probably get something to eat, and then I'll probably come out here and do some more. But Joey's looking DeWalty today. Yeah, like I said, I'm using tools that just stay. I'm not getting anything out of my truck. I try not to, because like I said, it ends up happening. If I do, I'll leave it in here, and then I'm on a job somewhere, and I'm like, oh man, I left my whatever down there in this stupid garage. Now this one I'll plumb, because it doesn't necessarily, that thing could be a little wonky up there. It doesn't matter if it is, but I need to keep it plumb with the next one. As far as, it doesn't matter if it's wonky up above the window, because I'm putting trim on it, but right there. Starting these screws like this is hard though. Oh, you turd. over here. Luckily, that'll get covered up with the trim board. But oh, I see. I got it cut out for that. Yeah, I'll take it down. Let's take it down. That's coming 15 3/8 up off the ground. 95 1/8. So these go all the way out for that porch. That's what's cantilevering that out there, even though I've got posts under it now. I don't necessarily probably need that, but $77. 77. $37 3/4. Come on. I'm going to take my microphone off and set it over there and get my oscillating tool and cut that out. I ain't dragging it back down here just for that. But that way it ain't killing y'all. Huh? I've got a beanie covering my ears. What more you want? It's not loud in real life. Yeah, I believe that, don't you? I think I inch monstered that up there, but that's all right because it's going above the ceiling anyway. So. So I got to take that second one out. See if I can kick it back. Yeah. So there's one. Right there. Come on, come on, come on. It's good, it's good. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna be one piece short. That's all right. For finish, I'm not one piece short overall. Like I got it all here. I just don't have it out with me. I guess according to my video on putting the cabinet bottom, I probably should just be putting one screw in per panel on these. Wouldn't want to use too many. Yeah, the last piece I got's gonna be a small one, so I still need one more whole one, which I need to cut it off to whatever that is. Why not use Velcro? The safety beanie. Was that Amanda? Oh, I don't know. Did she pop in here? I didn't see her if she did. Yeah, I really need one more hole sheet. I don't have any other hole ones in here, so it's all the way back in my, I'd have to go get my keys to my trailer and all that kind of stuff. So I'll probably stop right there for now till after the, I guess the trades probably anyways. I'm gonna go in and get something to drink. But I've got enough of that siding to do the whole entire inside in here out there in my shed, or at my, I've got it in my enclosed trailer. I've been waiting. I was going to go ahead and move all this stuff and get my enclosed trailer parked in here and just leave it open. So that way I could just pull stuff out of it. Cause all this sheathing, I don't know what else. Yeah. All that over there is, like roof 5/8 sheathing that was left over. And I'm going to be building, instead of sending it back, it was extra. I'm going to just use it to build my shelves. Like how I got my wood shelves in there. I'll make my shelves out of that. But let's see. So I've got, I mean, I'll get y'all down. We'll see if we walk around. What all we lose. Hopefully y'all won't. Yeah, I got a 12-foot ladder down here. I can get up there with that. So basically, again, this wall, I'm going to end up taking that window out. That's still in my old building. I'm going to take that out, but I'm just going to, instead of like totally closing it in, I'm gonna close it in with the same stuff I've got on the inside of my old building. So that one will be this window right here. I'm going to close that in and just build me like a frame and use this same stuff to where I can take it on and off if I want to, since that's kind of in the middle of this chase. That way, if I need to run something back in there, I can kind of get in the middle of it and reach halfway back in there. But I want to get rid of the window aspect of it from my other building, just because once I close this in, it's just going to be a black hole and it's not going to look good. So this side, eventually, I'll be knocking a hole in right here. And this one I won't be able to get to from this new building. This will just be off my existing building in there, but it's the same size as that over there that I'm doing right now. Let me see if I can get up here. Be better on the other side so y'all be able to see maybe, but. So I'm thinking whenever I build those walls, they come up to about like right here with that sheathing on that other side. I might come in here and just do blown in insulation, and it'll have that wall right there to kind of be a stop, and I add some more insulation on top of this. But like I said, it actually did pretty good during this winter. It was really cold here, actually, colder than what it normally is. And that mini split kept up pretty good, but I also didn't have like the two sides open yet. So I did put in these lights. I got these lights off Amazon. What's up, Tom? I bought like I think it was 10 of them for 120 bucks or something like that. And you can run them together like in sequence. So I put 6 in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm gonna run 2 because 2 of them, they're 8 foot long. So I'm gonna run 2 down the middle of each one of these on my drop ceiling, which should cover the whole area. But I ran conduit down through those and just put boxes and plugged each one of them. Like I just ran the wire over into those boxes. That way, if I have a problem with one later, instead of running them with like, and plus me running them this way, I couldn't do the cord that they give you to hook them together wasn't long enough. So I had to run wire anyways. So I went ahead and put it in conduit, and in those boxes, I've got a same circuit, but I've got a wire that's hot all the time. And then I've got a wire that's switched all that, like on that switch. So that way, if I want to run like a dusk till dawn light outside or something or other, I can power it into the one that's on all the time, like run it off that box there and run it out over the garage, and it won't be tied to this switch to where it has to be on. Or if I want to run a plug or something off that circuit, basically I just got power all the time. And again, I'm going to, same way as I've got some power ran through those, all my electric's going to be ran down here. So that's why I didn't have to run anything before I started sheathing. I've been trying to get the sheathing and the insulation and all that kind of stuff done. One is because it was winter time and I was trying to get it as much as I could to be not freezing in here while I was working. But also it's in my trailer. Like I'd like to get it all out of my trailer. So like that's because I'm not using this space for work. So it doesn't bother me if it's got stuff in it and it's junky and crowded up, but it has got me crowded up in there just because I'm not bringing some of that stuff in here that I want to. You're going to insulate the back garage area. I'm just doing the walls right now because I'm putting up walls for sure. I knew I was going to do sheathing. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to do up here. I think I am going to like, y'all probably can't see it, I guess, but take the wall between mine existing in this one and put sheathing up and kind of, if I do the blown in over top of that, that way this is kind of like the air flows not going through, to both of them type of thing. Like I'm not losing stuff over into this one. But I ain't decided. I doubt I'll do the ceiling in here. I mean, I might one day. I'm not planning on it right now though. Like it just depends on if like how I use this changes over time. Like if I decide I want to make it something else. Appreciate it, Crazy. Yeah, so my original plan was I was just going to build this off the side, not connected in any way, like this section right here. And then it wasn't even gonna, I was basically gonna build walls and a roof over top of this one, but this was just gonna be open. Like I wasn't even gonna close it in with the garage door. I was gonna leave this gravel, basically kind of build like a carport structure that had enclosed sides because I needed a new roof on that building anyways. So I kind of knocked it all out with one. And then as I was doing, I'm just like, it's not that much. I mean, the garage door is what cost me the most extra, really. Other than that, everything else was just, it was already going to be here anyways for the most part. So, and then the concrete. But I did my buddy that does concrete helped me out quite a bit on let me use his stuff. And then he came and did the finishing on this section. I did the rest of it, but uh, it worked out pretty good. It's one of those things that, like I said, I didn't have exact plans of what I was going to do. I just knew I wanted to put a new roof on this building. And again, the only reason why I really even added on those two sections was because I didn't want to have to work so close to this building because sometimes you go digging real close to an existing building that you got to get some, because I was going to do like a pole barn around the outside, like poles and all that kind of stuff. And then after I got into it, I was like, it'd be a lot easier just to do block on this because I was going to have to dig out. And once I figured out what I had to do there, and then once I did that, I was like, well, it's going to be a lot easier for me to just pour concrete up here and just frame on top of it. So then, like I said, it all kind of morphed into what it is. I didn't really have a big plan exactly what I was going to do. But I just wanted to achieve basically a new roof on that building and then a new section to park my trailer in, which is what I'm going to do with it right now. But it might change later, and this will be more usable for if it changes later. And I can now store other stuff in here that I don't have to worry about it being open and birds and everything else coming up in here and wasp and stuff getting in it. Spray foam the roof deck maybe. Yeah, once I get the sheathing done and out of my trailer, then it's going to be a lot easier for everything else I got to do. Everything else is small stuff. But like I said, I'm only working on it like on Saturdays. If I ain't got something crazy going on, I'll come work on it for a little while on Saturdays. And it's usually in the afternoon. So that's why I just leave my stuff set out here. I don't put it up whenever I'm done because if I get home and I've only got an hour, I don't want to spend 20 minutes of that hour getting stuff out and 20 minutes putting it back up. And that's why I'm not getting stuff in and out of my truck, because it just makes it easier that I don't have to go get stuff out of my truck and then make sure I put it back in, that kind of stuff. Which that's the benefit of having a bunch of tools, I guess. You can get by with what you got extra. But I'll probably go back there after the guest of trade and haul me some more sheets up here. I'm not going to open up that other side until I get this side done, which that was because it was so cold and I didn't want to lose all that air from my mini split going out there. But like I said, weather's about to hopefully turn here. I'm sure we're still going to have some cold, but it's not as going to be as bad as what it has been. These lights look pretty good though, and they were, like I said, cheap. I mean, there's nothing to them. It's basically an LED strip inside of a little cheap tubing thing, but they're pretty bright. Time will tell how long they last, I guess. Which is, again, it's another reason why I wired them like I did. If something happens, I can just change just the one out and it's not going to affect me any. Because I originally was going to go just buy drop-in lights and put them in the drop-in ceiling, but I had 4 of those left over, and the length of those is going to be about perfect if I run them lengthwise down the middle. So that's what I'm going to use those for. And if something ever happens to just one of these and I've got to change one out and those are still working fine, I'll probably change them out at that time. But right now I'm just going to use those. But yeah, this they end up looking like, let me find a small piece if I know I got some in here. Everywhere. And like I said, I haven't decided if I'm going to paint this stuff or not. It's already primed, and I don't really care what color it is. So this may end up being something along these lines. Of course, I'll line that up. And then I just had like a small piece somewheres. I'll take all these scraps that are skinnier and rip me down, stuff like that, out of it. And then do like that. But I'm gonna screw this on so that if I've got a plug here and then I decide I'm putting something right there and I want a plug right there, I'll just take this off, run me another, you know, come out of this plug over and put another one there. Without it'll make it so I don't never have to mess with any of this ever. And even if I want to run a plug up there, I can take this off and, you know, fish wire up, go to a box. So I save money buying the 7-foot stuff, but I think it's actually going to be long term better anyways. It's just a little bit more work, you know, getting it where you want it the first time, holding it up off there and all that kind of stuff. So the lights wired in parallel. There's, yeah, they go with, they all run into a box. I've got them all tied into the main wire, like, so one of them could go out and the rest of them would still be on the way that I've got it wired. But they're all, you can run them if you turn them sideways. They give you cords just to hook them one right into another if you want to. But the way I've got it wired right now, it wouldn't affect any of them if one of them goes out. Like I don't have mine running through a light going to the next light. Each light's wired in to power. And then, like I said, I've also got a wire in each of those boxes because I ran 3 wires that's on all the time because I ran that over to the garage door opener. There, I've got a plug. I can never tell what's seeable and what's not, but I ran conduit over to the garage door opener too and put a plug in there. So that's on all the time. And then all the lights are on the switched leg. And then, let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, I didn't run a 3-way switch. I just got the switch here because that turns on those lights. I was going to run a 3-way and put one over there in case I come in over there, but I'm probably very rarely going to come in over there. And if I do come in over there, the whenever you raise the garage door, I'm probably walking this. I think a garage door has to be open and you walk in that. The light on the garage door opener comes on. So I have some light in here if I come in that way enough to walk over and hit that switch. And I didn't feel like wasting the wire or run something over there that I'm never going to probably ever use. And because I've got that light, it's good. And in the daytime, there's tons of light coming in these windows. So it don't even matter during the daytime. You don't even really need light in here during the daytime. Unless you're working, maybe. Appreciate that, Tactics. Don't forget to put the 25-foot. Yeah, I'm glad you just said that. Actually, I'm going to set that over here. I also got the stickers from Cody that I was writing on his envelope. I need to make sure I put them back up in there. I'm going to set them there. It's funny because I was literally looking for that. I was digging through my deck drawers and everything because I thought maybe I had it on my vest. And I left. Sometimes I leave this one on my vest and I throw them in my deck drawers whenever I'm done working. Because especially if it's something where I'm gonna get out the next day and put that same vest back on, like if it's a job I'm still doing. I looked all over the place for that. You hardly ever go hot to neutral and then neutral to hot. You always tie all the hots together and the neutrals together at the junction anymore. Look like daisy chains. It looks like series, but the makeup is parallel. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Like Morgan said, if one goes out, it won't shut all the lights off. Yeah, it would depend on what happened. Like if you use the actual little cord and went from like it goes in one light and out the other into the next one, like I would assume if the strip goes out, the rest of them would still work. But if you had an issue with the electric in that light, something happened and it didn't go through, then that's when you'd end up losing all of them. It would depend on what happens to that light, like why it quits working, if the rest of them would. But I couldn't do it. Like I said, turning the lights the way that I needed to hook them under the ceiling, and it was going to be a better layout for me, anyways. Doing it this way, I couldn't run it the way that they give you every option though. Like I don't know if I got them in here. So I said for 129 bucks for 10 lights like that, they're pretty bright, and they came with. I think I kept some of the stuff in here, maybe if I can get to it. Lose my clips. I think the longer ones I've got laying in there somewhere else. So they came with, which this is what I ended up using, except for I actually cut some of these off because these weren't long enough. So you can take this and put it into a box and like wire it directly, or you can plug this into the light and they give you a receptacle. So like that's what I was going to do at first, was I was just going to put a receptacle up there in all those boxes and just plug it in. But I like the look. That would be easier if you change one out later, but I like the look of what I did better. It's the only reason why I did it. And then this has a switch on it too that you can turn on and off. So it gives you that option. And then they also give you, I've got some of them over there, but that's the ones I actually used there and cut them and then used them. But they're probably about this long with this end on both ends that you can plug into one light and then plug into the next light. Put a 240 outlet by the door. I don't have very much 240 stuff. I don't have a ton of, I only ran like a extra 60 amps out here because that's all I had extra kind of to bring out here from my house. And I didn't want to set another, I started to get another meter and just have a meter this separately, but then you got to pay a minimum, and I'd had to pay quite a bit of money to get it out here. I was able to run all this myself. Like my panel is on the other side of my house, and I've got a panel in my house, and then I've got an exterior panel on the outside of my house that they added at some point later that comes off the meter that runs. All that's really coming out of that is my heat and air unit. And they probably added that panel when they added that because at the time they built this house, they probably had a wood stove and, whatever else. They didn't have heat and air. So I came from that panel down underneath the crawl space of my house. I ran it through that, and then I came out the other side of my house because if I'd have went outside the whole way, I'd had to go under my driveway and a bunch of other stuff. And then from my house to here, I dug a trench and brought up and just set another sub panel inside of here. So I don't have like gobs of extra power, but I mean, I could run, and my mini split only pulls like 7 amps. It's a 230 volt, but it's like I think it pulls 7 amps or something like that max. And then other than that, all I've got in here, all I'm going to use that for right now is basically garage door opener lights is all I've got right now. And then I'm just going to put some plugs around. And I'm not one of those that runs 16 tools at one time. Like I'm only either going to be using my table saw, or I'm going to be using a planer, or I'm going to be using, so I don't have to have like 1,000 circuits running vacuums and all that kind of stuff. Will my panel support a 3-phase outlet for a full table saw? No, it won't. I don't know that I'll ever buy a big table saw. I started to, but before I bought this, that's what I was going to buy. Like I kept looking at big table saws, and because basically I was going to set it in the middle of my garage because I got a big open floor space in there, and a table saw, if you've got like a good one, like it can do a lot of stuff. But I don't think, now that I bought a track saw, I only use a table saw for small stuff most of the time, and a job site one works pretty good for me. There's missed maintenance.
How did I not get a notification that you were live?
I don't know. Somebody said they thought they saw you a minute ago. I think it was Perez.
Saw me where?
I don't know. I was working, and he said, "Was that?" I came back. I was reading the chat, and somebody said, "Was that Amanda?"
Well, I wasn't in the garage anytime. Unless they saw my car pull in.
You want to say hi?
Over here in the doorway.
You need to start carrying some sheets of this sheathing up here and go back there to the
I don't want to go
trailer
back
and get
out
them.
there.
Make yourself useful today. But I guess I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go in and get something to drink, and then the guest of trade's here in a little bit, anyways. And then I'm gonna go get some sheathing and carry it up here this afternoon, and I'm try to finish that wall at least. But we'll see some of y'all maybe in the chat here in, what time is it? 12:03 here in about an hour. So I was out here working by myself. I just thought I'd see if, I know some of y'all like to even just get on here and chat, whether you're chatting with me or not. Y'all like chatting back and forth with each other. So I fired up the old camera, but we'll see y'all on the next one.
Yeah, I didn't get a notification or anything about you being